Yeah, I know I didn't speak on this album and Mac's death. It honestly just threw me off. And I wasn't gonna never talk about it. I just felt like it was just too much like death and going through a lot of things and seeing it and didn't understand it and questioning even some of the things that I've been through or I've done, and it just threw me for a loop. But since somebody asked me about it, and so I guess I had enough time to actually sit with it and you know um, just basically acknowledge that Mac Miller was a good person. The Swimming album is basically about life, him trying to find the meaning or purpose of whatever he was searching for. That's basically it. It wasn't no rappy rap album, and I think a lot of people was tuned off from that because they thought it would be like another watching movies with the sound off, and especially after the Divine Feminine project, which it was 50-50. I think a lot of people wanted to hear Mac rap and be more in a happy place, but in a way this album really does show that he was getting towards finding that happy place again. And you can definitely hear it with songs like Self-Care, Ladders, Hurt Feelings, Come Back to Earth, and just overall him contemplating a lot of things. But I don't think death is really, something that he would envision for himself. I don't believe that. I mean, the album is a very soothing album. It's about growth and his journey. But when I found out that he did pass away, honestly, I didn't think it was real at first because I'm just like, wait, he just put out this great body of work. He just was talking about going on tour, and, he just seems to be getting past certain elements and, certain situations. And when it comes, in fact, when it came to the point that when I really looked up and seen what had happened and it just was an overdose and I just couldn't believe it, I was just like, damn. Like addiction is like really a funny thing. It's how you perceive it. And, if people aren't really addicted to anything, I don't think they really can identify with a person going through a struggle and dealing with certain aspects of that struggle. People say, oh, people have a shopping addiction. You have this type of addiction. When we're talking about alcohol, we're talking about drugs. I don't like to call them drugs. I mean, it is what it is. Just things are not that's not good for your body, basically. This shit is very hard to talk about. So yeah, and I guess I didn't understand the overdose. You know what I mean? Because I do remember, if you go back to listen to Good AM, that album itself, it's spooky when I went back and listened to it when he was no longer here. Especially the line where he was just like, if I'm buying drugs from you and you my dealer, don't sell me no bad, bullshit. Basically, I don't want to overdose, and it's just like whatever it was that he had taken, it caused his demise, which is weird. And it's like sometimes the friends around you cannot be really your friends that's around you. Because I still to this day couldn't imagine being rich and being wealthy and everything like that. And if I chose to indulge in anything, why am I not getting the best of the best? You know what I'm saying? And what kind of friends would I have to just give me some bullshit? You don't bring new people around you. You know what I mean? You don't have new suppliers or none of that shit. You know what I mean? You don't trust people like that. And it just have his friends around him. Because it's just different when, like, if you partying with your friends and they party too. But just to have you being partying, but your friends is mooching off of you, but they don't do no partying, you don't want people around you like that. Because you don't really know the type of shit that they can do to whatever it is you are pitting through your system. And you don't know the type of people that they know, what ulterior motive they may have. But that's beyond the point. But it really threw me off because I actually wanted to see Mac Miller get past this whole breakup, this whole addiction that he had, and to actually climb over that mountain and actually walk to the top and actually see the sunrise. It's like, yes, Mac Miller came over this. He got over this hump. You know what I mean? And the music that possibly could have been created from actually achieving that end of the journey he was going through, I think would have been amazing. But as an overall person, I thought Mac was a cool person. I didn't know him personally, but just from listening to his music, watching his videos through the years from the beginning. Because I think I started listening to Mac when not when that Donald Trump shit was there. What was my favorite song? It was Live Free. That was like the first song I ever heard from him. Keep Floating. It was during that era of Mac where I discovered him. You know what I mean? And to see him go from that to his debut album, which I get why he did it, but that wasn't particularly my favorite. And then he got back to it with Watching Movies with the Sound Off, which is also incredible. That's one of my favorite. Got the Faces project. That was dope. Macadelic, another good one. And it just was just to see him go through this journey. It's just like, wow, he's like rapping his ass off. And I think that a lot of people, when it came to the music particularly, with the content, I guess they wasn't understanding it or they wasn't listening, because he clearly was stating everything that he was going through, especially in that Good AM album. And he was so open with discussing, his trials and tribulations in interviews and everything. Especially, it was a Hot 97 interview when Good AM was out, where he basically owned everything. He just owned it. You know what I mean? And I was proud of him for doing that, because like, you don't have to go out there and do things like that. He didn't sugarcoat shit. He just came out and just said what he was going through, what his future endeavors were, and what his plans were for himself. You know what I mean? And you got artists that you can tell they was doing certain things but won't talk about it. I think like Wale kind of, got around it. You know what I mean? A couple notable other artists, but it's not about them. But I definitely just feel like Mac, he was a solid person, man. And listen to this album, it's like it's sad in a sense, but not the sad. It's like a happy sad. And yeah, man, it fucked me up. Like the X shit, like on my birthday, that definitely fucked me up. But to just wake up to this one personally, because I think I identify with a lot of people that go through certain things as far as, depression, anxiety, and kind of addictive nature in a sense. I kind of identify with that shit more than the other bullshit. But to just wake up to just something like that, you didn't see nothing like that coming. You didn't see it happening. You would have never thought somebody told you, oh, Mac won't be around. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, get the fuck out of here. And then to see it, that threw me off. I was literally sad for like a week straight, because I didn't understand why that happened. But I mean, R.P. Mac, man, it's a good dude. Hopefully he actually has unreleased music, that he was working on. Because Mac stayed working. You seen all the artists and producers that actually spoke highly of him, which people got to stop doing that. You got to give people their flowers while they're alive, not when they dead. You know what I mean? But hopefully we get some unreleased music from Mac, man. And this death doesn't just go away to where the problem is not being talked about. Because I feel like addiction is really a problem that people are not really talking about. And to have the older and younger generation going back and forth over, oh, you're an addict, fuck you niggas, and like that shit is weird. We need to get to the problem of why are people doing what they doing. Because I think a lot of people doing shit just because they think it's fun. And I'm telling you, a lot of these people that be talking about this, oh, I pop this, I take this, they lying. I said the same shit in my DS2 review. You will kill yourself literally doing that shit. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? But that's another story for another day, though. Just you young in high school or in college, middle school, listening to this, man, don't be doing shit because other motherfuckers do it. Don't treat your body like an experiment, because that could really fuck your world up. You know what I mean? Do what you do. Don't do what they do. Because what they do, particularly, is not good for you, because you know that you shouldn't be doing what they doing, because they definitely can't do what you do. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about shit like that. But R.P. Mac, man, Swimming, definitely a solid album. It's always something good to throw on when you kind of want to be in a certain vibe. Y'all take care, man. One.